Hello! Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Josh, and I'm here today with two very special guest hosts we have. We have Scott Simpson, a.k.a. Nimble with Numbers, and Jordan Vanek, a.k.a. at Jordan Vanek1. I'm very excited to see how this mock draft goes today, guys. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us on, and I'm so excited to mix it up with you. I heard that Simon and JL were so intimidated by, the better half of the Nimble with Numbers team that they hightailed out of town and they're hideout somewhere until this week blows over. So, we're in here to fill in and help out. I brought my guy, Jordan, the math magician. Vanek, thank you for coming, man. I'm so excited.
No problem, man. I mean, I know JL and Simon are too busy doing this. This is what JL is just counting because, this is all that I've seen on his Twitter. There's been no fantasy content. It's just strictly been about Simon and his pooping, and I'm scared. I'm gonna be quite honest. It's a scary time.
Simon. Yeah, we want to get an update on the numbers there whenever you get a chance, Simon. I see him in the chat over there, so whenever you get a chance.
Is Simon trying to audition for Living the Stream with Denny Carter? They talk about a poop.
Oh my god!
Is he trying to jump streams to a thicker poop stream or something? What's going on? That's gross.
Honestly, that conversation's had probably a little bit too much on this show anyway. So we're kind of going that direction as well. So. So we had J-Wall come in. Ooh, I like the new design on the thumbnail. Yeah, me too. Y'all are going to be have to be nimble to get the guys you want in this draft. Oh man, better watch out.
By the way, whenever I see the word nimble come up anywhere in anybody tweets it out, I just go and I retweet it sometimes. I don't have a bot that does it, but you can't not do it sometimes. It's a perfect word to use when you're talking about the NFL. So I love it. Whenever it comes up, I'm just like, and
I completely get it.
No royalties, but just kind of fantasy bucks. Kind of you floss a little bit. So
no, I've got a lot of words like that just because I'm in reception or a point or dynasty. If that word's used in any context outside of fantasy, it just doesn't process very. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So Jean-Luc JL doing his typical Scott Fish. He's doing his first, obviously. Man. So, guys, we had some news break over the weekend. I don't know if you noticed, but Julio Jones did get traded from the Atlanta Falcons to the Tennessee Titans.
What's his name?
The Falcons. Julio Jones. Julio, Mr. Julio Jones.
Like Uncle Julio's, you can go and get bottomless margaritas for
exactly. He's got the best Mexican food around,
Right. He's the guy who gets all the yards, right? He's just full of yards.
Yeah. He's not very good at touchdowns, but he's great at getting those catches. He's great at getting those yards. But he's now on the Titans, playing with Ryan Tannehill, playing with A.J. Brown. I want to ask you guys, who does this affect the most, do you think? Is there a person you have in mind affects the most, affects the least? For me, I'll just say it affects Ryan Tannehill the most for me. I think Ryan Tannehill's fantasy stock's going a little bit up for this next coming season. I'm excited to have Ryan Tannehill as a late round quarterback. What do you guys think?
I don't know if you're going to be able to get him late round after what just happened because
you might be right.
What normally goes down in the way that home leagues work. I mean, maybe in an industry draft, people are all waiting because everyone does that in those industry drafts. Everyone just waits and waits and waits. But the home league, they're like, Julio, oh my gosh, they overreact. So then someone will get him in the 8th, and you'll be like, oh my God, are you serious? Because maybe you're going to get him in the 10th or you're going to get him in the 9th, and someone will reach for him now, which makes him not a value. But I'll say this. I do think you're right. I think it does impact Ryan Tannehill the most. Maybe Russell Gage the second most. I don't know if you're talking about both sides of that experience there, but it fortifies Calvin Ridley as a top end wide receiver one, ceiling wide receiver one of everything. The wide receiver one. It also solidifies Kyle Pitts for me as tight end 3 or 4 in depending on where you kind of rank him behind Kittle, Hawkinson. I have right away I go Kelsey, Waller, Hawkinson, and then I go Pitts. So I'm keeping him there. Wow. I'm not going to move him. But I actually had to do the projections for the Tennessee Titans for the Sports Gambling Network podcast, and I'm the guy in charge of the AFC South. As soon as the Julio news broke yesterday, boom, 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 had to get in there. And so if we want to talk projections, I want to hear what Jordan has to say. What do you have him for touchdowns? Because I actually have him increasing from last year's 6. Wow. I think he does better. Jordan, what do you think for him next year?
See, with Julio Jones, the thing that scares me the most is Todd Downing. This guy's had 1 year as a play caller and was with the Oakland Raiders, and he had Crabtree, Carr, and Amari Cooper. And for some reason, Jared Cook got more targets than both of them, I believe, or similar target share. And that's just like talent-wise, how do you look at Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree and be like, Jared Cook, we're going to get him more targets? For Julio, I think he's definitely going to be used a lot more in the red zone than he was in his years in Atlanta because of Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry's presence, it's like you have to load the box in the red zone or you're just going to let Derrick Henry walk. And if you have Julio Jones on the outside and he gets one-on-one, like, it's going to be an easy touchdown. This offense is going to be it's going to be tough to stop. I've been trying to figure out what you would take away. Like, do you load the box? Do you leave Julio and AJ Brown 1-on-1? I think the person who has the really high TD upside now is Ferkser, because if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm doing all I can on those 3 guys. Ferkser is going to be the guy with 1-on-1 the whole entire time. He's going to have, and as a tight end, if he gets a smaller defender on him, he'll just box him out, and Tannehill will just throw the jump ball.
Yeah, I was interested in your Ferkser take because I know you were big on Ferkser before Julio Jones got there, and I was kind of interested to see if this changed your mind on that. But it seems you just think he's going to get better, less coverage, more touchdowns. Yeah.
I don't think his receptions and targets will be there the way I wanted, but like if I'm targeting a tight end late, like if this guy can get 8 touchdowns, he'll be a top 8 tight end because that's all that matters for tight ends.
I went the other way. I gave Julio 8 touchdowns, and the reason I think is what you're saying. Imagine you have, from the 15-yard line in, you have a truncated field. But when you get closer to the goal line, you have to stop Derrick Henry. Like, you have to stop him. He is the unstoppable machine. And you saw AJ Brown video. He's like, we have this guy. He's like, he's a monster. We have this guy. Like, oh my gosh, that's how we all feel. I love that when he was saying that. Like, it was just ridiculous. We all were AJ Brown taped up with the jersey, like talking to our favorite kid, you know what I mean, or our favorite team. Like, come on, man, like do this, So I loved it. I thought it was perfect, and I think it's going to be Julio Jones season for touchdowns. Like if he gets 10, I'm not going to be surprised, but I think 8 is kind of where he's going to be at this year because I think he has something to prove from last year as well. Not playing healthy, being struggling. He's had an off season to heal up. I can't wait to see him, and he's going to have. Listen, when you're home, I don't know. I feel like he's getting back home, right? Is he from Tennessee? Is that where he's from?
He's from Bama.
Bama. Okay, so he's moving maybe closer to home. He's moving closer to home. I hope he just kind of feels like this is the rest of his career, and so he's got 5 years in him. How long was his contract? 4 years
for Tennessee.
Well, when he signed, man,
did he resign or playing out the end of his last contract?
I think it's the last contract, and I think it's 3 years, and this year has the out. Like if they cut him after this season, they only have like 3 or 4 mil of dead cap. But after that, if they accept his contract, they think he's getting like 20 mil in the next year.
Yeah. Yeah, but when he signed that contract, I think it was the largest per year ever for a wide receiver, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
at the
time.
Bama
the Atlanta Falcons gave him they treated him right his whole entire career. Every time he asked for more money, they're like, here you go. Like they didn't question. They did the Julio holdout for like 3 or 4 straight years. But he always ended up getting paid and getting what he wanted.
And now look where he is.
Yeah, so you're right. And this year he's getting $15 million, and then 20, and then I think 11, and then 11. So it's not too much,
No,
not too much.
Is that his cap, or is that just including the signing bonus? Because the signing bonus, he gets a significant chunk.
Yeah. So the way it works is in 2021 he gets $15 million. And then it says there's no signing bonus on there. All that signing bonus of $5 million was in 2020. So he just got a $5 million signing bonus. And then in 2019, he got a $7.4 million signing bonus. So he's got $12 million in signing bonuses the last 2 years. None this year. He's done getting signing bonuses, but he's got the guaranteed basically. I mean, he can get guaranteed, but if he gets cut, he's not guaranteed. But if he gets to play, he's getting It's not bad. You know, he's getting $37 million. So
That sucks.
I mean, whatever. I'll take it. So,
guys, I could talk about Julio Jones all day, but I do want to get into this draft. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm not even in the draft. I just want to see what happens here. You know, Superflex redraft PPR.
You're not in?
No, I want to talk about your bad picks you're making.
Oh, okay. Well, then you won't talk about much that I do because I'm doing it for a living. You know,
we shall see. we got a
mathematician.
He does.
We got a really good group of guys here, so I'm excited to see if you can pull off the best draft. You know, and then maybe we'll do some analysis afterwards, and we'll determine who did the best one. I'll do it after the show. But you know, just want to say we're here live streaming every weekday at 3:00 on YouTube, 3:00 Eastern time on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Front Yard FYF. Please go and subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch under the name Front Yard Fantasy. We really appreciate it. But
subscribing twice, 3 times, 4 times, but I just can't do it. I mean, I might have to make more YouTube accounts just to subscribe.
All right,
several YouTube accounts. I should check and make sure all of them are subscribed. So,
come on, Scott, come on, do it for us.
Of course, I will after this. And I have to get on and like other people's stuff so I can post other people's stuff so that next week I can post some of my stuff. So I got a lot to do.
So we got a minute clock. So you only have 60 seconds to make your picks. It's Superflex redraft, not Dynasty, redraft PPR. Remember, guys. So we started off with first pick, Patrick Mahomes. Can't blame anyone there.
Or you can blame the person who drafted him. Either way.
Would you go the other way there?
Well, yeah. I mean, no, I'm kidding. You can't. No, it's a super flex. I think it's a great pick. I'm just teasing.
And then Bo being a homer, taking his Dallas Cowboy.
Of course, yeah.
I understand. I get it, Bo.
I'm getting it too. Yeah.
Dak Prescott's getting a lot of hype all of a sudden. A lot of hype, like
he's
MVP hype. Yeah,
well, he's got a lot of playmakers on his leash. You know what I'm talking about? on his hip, and just
no, absolutely, absolutely.
So
Swamp came in and said, "Who dat?" He's at work and he cries, making bad choices and joining the Mac draft. He corrected himself, said mock. Bo said, hey, rocking the 2-hole. Ooh, Bo, you got Dak. Dak.
Bo likes rocking the 2-hole, that's for sure.
No jail or Simon today, Swamp. No, unfortunately, they couldn't make it. And we have their 2 replacements here. This is permanent. So get used to it, guys. No, Simon and Jay will be back probably tomorrow. Worse Wednesday.
I'm just disappointed McCaffrey hasn't come off the board yet, but I guess Jay will just take him here at 6. If I had to guess, Jay will do it. No, Kyler's.
Ooh.
Wow. Ooh. I wanted Justin Herbert. I was kind of mean. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you're on the clock now. I mean, you wanted Justin Herbert. You're gonna have to pivot.
I pivoted.
And he pivoted.
I had to go McCaffrey.
I thought I was going to get him at 12.
I'm sorry. I don't want to denigrate anybody on the show who's regular on the show who's not on the show now. I'm just going to say this. Josh, you're an attractive man. The show is looking better than ever.
Oh!
Yeah, it's looking better. I'm not going to lie. Also, one of the taglines for the Chalk Block show is, it is the world's sexiest DFS show for now, right? For now. So we have not yet to be dethroned by anybody, so we are still the sexiest. And we're bringing that sexy to your show. And, I mean, just the hair alone, you know what I mean, is it's looking good. So
I gotta agree, Scott. This is a sexy show happening right now. I'm not even talking about myself. I'm just the chat. They're sexy. This mock draft sexy. Yeah. Everything's just sexy right now. And look how hot it looks right behind Jordan there. That looks hot.
Yeah, no, looks Craig's like gifts are hot.
He looks as hot as I was outside building my deck today. Because this is what I did. Let me tell you my day as we get back here around. What are you going to do, Jordan Bennett? Oh, Alvin Kamara. He's going to go. I like it. He's going to go.
I will say it's PPR, and both of those guys will catch 80 passes. That is the
81. He will catch 81 passes.
Well, my thing with Eckler this year is with outside of Keenan Allen, who's getting targets? I just truly believe Eckler will get 100 targets if he's healthy for 17 games. And since this isn't dynasty. This is a redraft. Like, I'll take these two for this upcoming season. Like, I know that everybody's scared of Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, but like they're going to use Kamara in the same role. Yes, it's not Drew Brees, but it's the same thing. Like, they're going to be fine.
Wow. And Najee Harris coming off the pick right after you, going ahead of guys like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. How's that make you feel?
I'm confused. Did Craig know this was a redraft, or does he think it is dynasty? Because I'm terrified. But then also Jonathan Taylor's still there. I don't know. I personally don't have Najee in the top 12. I can't do it.
So I have to tell you guys my day. We're puppy training my new golden retriever dog. My daughter's, not just mine, but our family got a new dog. Her name is Winter, and she came to us on Saturday. And we're crate training her, and I'm sleeping downstairs in the main level with her, and everyone else is sleeping upstairs. And she goes to bed. I went to bed at 10:30. She went to bed at 10:30 last night. Woke up at 1:30, and then I was awake from 1:30 to 5:30 because she would kind of wake up. I'd take her out, go back to sleep for about an hour, and I'd finally fall asleep, and then she'd wake up again. And then I got 3 hours of sleep last night, and then my dad came over, and we worked on my deck in 95-degree heat. And so then I went from that. I did shower. I came out and took the dog, ran her around, played with her, did a bunch of stuff, and then put her in the crate. And I think hopefully she's taking a rest now. Made her number one, number two. So we're doing all those things. And I got here just on time. So I was like, man, this is a full day, and this is the best part of my day, man. I'm like so excited. I'm like,
but it's work, right?
This isn't work. Oh no, this is.
Oh, I meant the dog. I meant like training the dog. Yeah.
I mean, I'm bearing the brunt of it too. Like I'm sleeping downstairs, not getting a lot of sleep on the couch. Just anytime you hear that, you're like, okay, all right, someone's gonna poop in their cage or whatever. So I gotta jump out. You don't want them to have accidents in their cage. You want them to kind of like their cage and have it to be their home. So yeah.
I did it. Sorry, I was just like, Bo's the first. He did it. He did the Calvin Ridley wide receiver 2 overall. That's where he's got him.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I'm just dangerous over Devontae Adams right now, because if they kiss and make up, then I can't take Calvin over Devontae Adams.
If Rodgers kisses and makes up with the Packers, you're absolutely correct. But if he doesn't,
the axe.
But like,
doesn't. I'm not burying Devontae Adams, but I think I would take Ridley ahead of him, maybe.
Wait, timeout. That last pick in the second round has to be criticized. So I'm gonna let you do it, John.
DeAndre Swift. You want me to criticize? I mean, J-Wall. Oh my God! How dare you?
He said you're talking about fire, and that pick was the reach. So I'm just wondering.
So for me, I kind of do think DeAndre Swift's in a tier with these other second-year running backs. I really do. Now, would I take Antonio Gibson, Cam Akers, those guys above him? Yeah, but I don't think it's that crazy.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Chris Carson. I think there's better running backs. I don't know. I'm just saying.
So I'm not seeing the running backs on the board right now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I would take above DeAndre Swift.
There's Mixon and J.K. Dobbins.
I mean, he got Gibson, which I would have taken above him as well. So, but I would have also taken Devontae Adams above Swift. Like, you get Devontae Adams one shot, I would have upgraded and went Devontae Adams. But he didn't fall to me, so I can't get him.
Now I agree. There are some wide receivers I would consider there, but depending on how you want to build your team, J-Wall. So I'm just wondering, and maybe he's considering this. Maybe he's thinking that when the draft board comes back around to him, the running backs are going to be completely dried up, and I think it's very possible, actually.
It could, yeah.
Let's see where the running backs are when it comes back around to him, and what the wide receivers look like, and kind of what he could have done in this situation. How about that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll play a little what if.
Yeah, exactly. I like this. I like this game because, I agree. Maybe some wide receivers there I might have considered over DeAndre Swift, maybe a couple running backs even, but I think they're probably in a similar tier at the very least. So, let's see what happens when it comes back around to him. But, Scott, you're on the clock right now. You start out with Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill. You still don't have a quarterback in Superflex League. Are you worried about that? I know you're on the clock. You have to say it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not worried about it right now.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. Well, I could reveal my hand. No. I can reveal. I understand that there is a running element to the game. That's why Jalen Hurts is projected so high.
There it is.
You know what I mean? And I understand that. Right now, though, I like somebody else personally, and I have to go wide receiver. I like Justin Jefferson. I'd rather have a wide receiver or running back. I'll get a couple quarterbacks later and just chase some value because I didn't get these top guys that are the bone crushers that I wanted. I'm not going to chase some of the other quarterbacks. I'm just not. So
let me ask you, do you think AJ Brown would have gone off the board before this pick? He just went off the board. Do you think he would have off the board if Julio Jones wasn't there already?
Yes, I would have picked him. Yes, I would.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
It's kind of weird though, because like for me, AJ Brown, I know people like his ceilings hurt, but I think he like when he was at Ole Miss, he played the slot more because DK Metcalf was split out wide. Now
when he wasn't hurt.
Now Julio Jones is there, so AJ Brown's going to get more of a slot role, and like I think he's going to get more catches. And if he's getting the ball in space, like I'll take AJ Brown any day of the week. I am very shocked. I am on the clock, and I can't believe 2 wide receivers that I have in my top 7 are there.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, man, and I'm pretty confident. I know you're going to pick. Yep.
I'm okay with this start any day of the week. I know it's super flex. I know how important quarterback is, but if I can have, for me, I have all my first 4 picks within my top 7 of the position for the redraft.
I love this start, Jordan. I like you already said it. I know it's super flex, but there are going to be plenty of very good quarterbacks that are going to be coming back to you next round after that, the round after that. Tom Brady's not going to go for a while, I feel like. So, I mean, let's see how it goes. You could get some value.
You don't have to get if you don't get Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or somebody, you don't have to get the top mid-tier person. You can get a couple of mid-low people who will kind of maybe get in that top tier. Quarterbacks fluctuate each year. You're not going to just rank them the same. Like, they're going to be, he was 20th, so I'm going to draft him 20th. It's the same. So it's not the same. If you think about the opportunity, what's going to happen. And look, no one's picked a quarterback for a long time. So
yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this right now. And I mean, like the quarterback that I'm interested to see is like if Aaron Rodgers does get traded to Denver in a Superflex redraft PPR, do you think he goes in the first round? Because of how great he was last year, the weapons he's going to go to, and like, where do you guys like?
What was the question again?
If Rodgers gets traded to Denver in a Superflex redraft, do you think he goes in the first round?
If Rodgers
because I think like that's essentially the team
redraft Superflex League, So
no, we just off the board, Aaron Rodgers. Speak of the
because like, what's the difference for me? It's like if he goes like Seattle versus like Russell Wilson or Joe Burrow versus Rodgers. Rodgers is coming off of a 45 touchdown season or something.
Oh man,
48.
I didn't try to go 1 RB, but I have 1 RB.
That's a loaded group of wide receivers, though. I think we can easily say you're going to end up with the best group of wide receivers. Not easily, but
Jordan could pick up somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Great point. Yeah, it's comparable so far, Jordan.
I mean, he has McCaffrey.
2 extra guys, though.
I've got Eckler and Kamara as my receivers, so I don't know. He might have me beat.
It could be a close one.
I'm just, man, I'm shocked at a few of these guys.
Yeah, your RB2 is ridiculous. Your RB2 is ranked for me right where you have him in like real time. I think he's like the 6th best running back, this year. I'll draft him in the turn, second, like right there where you draft him in regular redraft, not super flex. So I definitely like your value where you're picking up Eckler. He's ridiculous. So
yeah, I have him right now as my RB5. And the thing is if you give every running back a full healthy 17, like I think he scores in a similar range as Dalvin Cook and Saquon and Kamara. Like I think he's that good of a running back when he's fully healthy. And when he came back from injury, I'm pretty sure Josh Allen targeted him like 21 times the first week and then like 14 times the next week. And it's like running backs are like, quarterbacks, if they can run, it's a cheat code. Well, running backs, if they can catch the football, a complete cheat code.
Did you guys see what happened in the draft?
No, what happened? Tell me.
Travis Etienne went.
Yeah.
That's rather early for me, honestly, for somebody who's going to share touches with James Robinson.
In a redraft league, I agree. I'm a little worried about him year one.
Yeah.
In a dynasty league, this is probably around where he's going typically.
Yeah, dynasty, okay, but not redraft. Yeah. And big shocker, Bo went Kyle Pitts. Oh my gosh, you see that coming from like China? There's a guy in China who's like, Bo McBig is going to pick Kyle Pitts, and then everybody was like, "Yep."
Everyone knew it was coming.
Billions of people were like, "Oh yeah, he is."
I'm a big Kyle Pitts guy myself, but again, in redraft, I cannot take him this early. I cannot do it in redraft.
Early. Bo just stack attacked with Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan. Wow. I like.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's got the touchdowns in Atlanta. He's probably going to come back and pick Mike Davis too. I mean, I don't think he'll go before that pick unless Mr. Scott wants to pull out the sniper. And
no, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that because I feel like that if that's someone's strategy and you figure it out, if it makes my team better, then I will pick Mike Davis if that is like the running back that I've targeted in that round. But I'm not going to go out of my way, even on a show, to do that because Bo will call me out on it and like make a big deal about it, and I don't want to like get a meme made about me. You know what I'm saying?
So guys, let's talk about this real quick here. On the draft board, Jay Wall came back and got Amari Cooper and DJ Moore. There were still running backs like David Montgomery, Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs on the board. I'm not going to say Kareem Hunt. Some people might consider him there. I'm not. But so, there were some good running backs that actually wound up falling, which I wasn't sure was going to be the case. You got Chris Carson, who I love in redraft. I think Chris Carson's a steal there, Z2. Great pick. Mm-hmm. David Montgomery's going to have a good year. Maybe as good as Swift. Who knows? So, I think your point kind of stands, Scott. I think he could have went wide receiver earlier and maybe gotten a quality running back when the board came back around.
It's just a thought. It's not. I could be wrong. My team could suck, but –
I mean, it's basically like, would you Devontae Adams and Chris Carson or DeAndre Swift and Amari Cooper?
They're pretty even.
That's an even. It's just like, for me personally, like I feel like I would rather have. Devontae Adams. Yeah, no, I was going to say that.
Okay, good.
Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen. This is leagues. Leagues are 100% different because if you go and say it's Etienne and Devontae Adams versus Swift and Amari Cooper, it's probably more so to the other side. But with Etienne going earlier, because I believe Arsenal said he was confused and drafted he was drafting for Dynasty. That happens, but
who said that? I don't want to throw shade.
Arsenal. No, he said that he didn't know that it was redraft, the Etienne pick. He was like, I was wondering why Trevor Lawrence was still there.
Forgive me. I was throwing shade like it was so early. So please forgive. I just, I was like, that's a
Jay on the show is making Craig cry.
I'm not trying to.
Sorry, Craig.
Here's what I said. I came on the show. I said, I'm not here to bust balls. I'm here to coddle ball.
He did say that going into the show. He's like, I know you guys bust balls on the show sometimes. I older. I'm coddling for you. I'm gonna coddle you.
I see Simon. I listen. Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of the show. I've come on a couple times. I love you. You guys are awesome.
We're a fan of you.
I've seen JL go from like a mild mannered person to like just like yelling and like that, like even on our show getting emotional. You know what I mean? Like he became the horse. It was great. Like I love.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy is just off the chain. But it's all it's all still like you never want to see me angry. Like you'd be like, oh man, Scott might be a serial killer. You know what I mean? But like you see JL angry, like, oh, it's just the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, these guys are. So I do tune in, and I just don't like. I don't locker room. I just never played that game, man. Like I was a football player. I wouldn't bust balls in the locker room, man. I just get in there, get your clothes off. I don't look at anybody. Don't look at me. Get the hell out of there.
Bust them, coddle them, man. Yeah. Yeah, in the locker room.
There was one dude who would take showers at our football team, and he would do it in his underwear. And it was just like, man, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, just go home. Just go home. You know what I mean? I had a car that did it when I was in high school. I played football one season on the varsity team. I got a new car. It was a piece of crap car. It was a Hyundai, like the first year. So I don't know. It was 96 maybe. So it's 96. I'm driving like a probably 87 Hyundai or something, whatever the earliest Hyundai model was.
Yeah.
I put eight dudes or 6 dudes all after football. Just loaded the team up and just dropped guys off on my way home. And like 3 or 4 months into doing that, the car just died and it just smelled like BO and like man and like I just like it was the car was made to die. It wasn't gonna last forever, but man,
it wouldn't change a thing, I'm sure.
No, it was great. That car sacrificed itself for my football career, which lasted, like just that year. So
there you go. They were very in line, right?
Yeah, very much. Oh, Tom Brady. Speaking of Tom Brady, he went off the board with your boy.
There he goes.
Mr. Jordan Vanek won.
I think it was a great pick, Jordan. It was a great. I mean, like I think people are sleeping on Tom Brady for this year a little bit. He had such a good year, and isn't he only going to improve with the weapons all coming back?
He was just consistent as hell last year. I mean, he had 20 points every single week besides 2, and it was against Chicago, the game with the famous "What is he doing here?" the timeout, or he thought it was the 4th down play. He's like, what's going on? And then in Denver with Vic Fangio, and he still threw 3 touchdowns that game. He just he fumbled. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady is such a high floor, and they brought back Antonio Brown. They still have Godwin. They still have Gronk. They still have Mike Evans, and like Gronk is now going to have a year under his belt.
Did you see
he came in so late last year?
Thighs? Did you see Giovanni Bernard's thighs? Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh, I saw him.
Oh my god! I am known for having like really sexy calves, and
are you?
I know, but only for a few friends. My cohort in crime, Mike Collins over there at the Fantasy Millionaires, he loves to point it out. So I was golfing with Denny Carter, and I'm up on the range, and I'm about to swing my driver, and he's like, "Look at his calves!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then he's like, "Oh, good God," And I was like, "Damn it!" Now I feel like real insecure, And so like I definitely shanked my ball in the woods. I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mike."
Of course you do. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say,
crippling. I was like, but when I see, as a man who's got good calves, when I saw the calves that have been coming out this last month, the month of calves, I have just been like, I'm hiding my legs like a nun. Like my legs are nothing compared to those men. I got all my calves and like all my thighs could come together and form one of those thighs.
Hey, Scott, I'm sure your calves are beautiful. Just show them off. Don't compare.
Bro, I just realized me and Z2 we've drafted the exact same players, just like positions.
Ooh,
just
opposite. Flipped. Yeah, flipped. Yeah, okay.
Literally
comparison.
Identical. And it's very good. I mean, I think his team's very, very solid. Running back health is going to be the only thing.
Yeah. If Mike Davis plays the whole year as the Atlanta starter, oh man, that's some value in Mike Davis, but he scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're guaranteed someone who on the field is going to produce for you. It's going to be the same way that people have looked at Chris Carson for all these years. Yeah. Just like he's very good when he plays, and he's, a great 14, 15 points. If he gets in the end zone, he's getting 20. Like, he's never going to get you like 24 consistently or anything crazy like that. But with Atlanta, like, the one thing that's impressed me most about Arthur Smith is when he gets in the red zone, his play calling is the best I've seen. Like, he will take advantage of mismatches on a daily, on the basis that I've never seen coaches do. And with Kyle Pitts, Calvin, and Mike Davis, they're going to be fine. Like, offensively, they're still going to be fine. It's not going to be the same without Julio, but like, people are like, "Oh, Matt Ryan now off the cliff with his rankings." Like, no, Matt Ryan shouldn't be drafted as a QB1, but like, he's still got talent. Like, the Kyle Pitts is a freaking unicorn, and I think he's going to be just fine in that offense.
We had some people weighing in on the Swift talk. Jay Wall said he's the one that drafted Swift. He loves how people are sleeping on him. In redraft, Anthony thinks should be going a little lower, but Jay says he likes the pick. Jay says Jay stick together. And then Jay Wall says, this is why I went running back. I would have taken Adams and Diggs if I wasn't so worried about it. So he's chiming in on our conversation, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Anthony says, this is why we mock. And I completely agree. If you want to try something, you got to do it in mocks. Don't wait until your actual draft, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's or you could do, I'm not going to do shameless plug, or you could do underdog fantasy, which is awesome to do best ball, and it's only $5, and then people take it seriously. Not that everyone here does. This is a show. This is classy. Yeah. If you're just doing a random mock you're jumping into or something, it might be as worth your while, is all I'd say. So this is worth your while for sure. But if you want to do the underdog stuff, please use your promo code Nimble. And the whole crew appreciates it.
Seriously, underdog. The best ball drafts are so much fun.
Okay, so my guy went. I wanted Ayuk, and then Claypool was my next wide receiver off the board. I'm a little disappointed by that. That was, that kind of hit close to the vest right there. I'm not gonna lie. In all honesty, I'm gonna cry in a little bit. Right now,
it looks like Z2 is not happy with Jordan being in here.
I don't know what I did.
Taking some of his players, maybe,
Really?
I mean, Scott drafted himself last round, so
I had to do it. It was.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh yeah. You're pretty high on Ryan Fitzpatrick for this upcoming season, huh, Scott? Well, make your pick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to kind of decide here.
Trying to figure out what running backs left. It's kind of scary.
George.
It's not great. It's not great. I don't like it. It's gross. And I didn't like. I mean, here's the thing. I'll say what I think about Javonte Williams. I know that people think they're just going to ride Melvin Gordon into the ground, and then at the end of the year they go, okay, now Javonte Williams is here. And I know that they say, well, the coordinators never just not focus on one running back. Sure. I think so. But I don't think that you draft somebody like that just to not use them. Like, that's dumb in 2021. In a 17-game season, I think that he's going to get good playing time. And so I just think by the end of the year, he will have value. I didn't want to pick him, but if it was Dynasty, oh, man, I do love him because I think that Melvin Gordon's gone after this year, just like completely gone. And then what's he going to do? He's going to have the whole backfield to himself. That's my thought.
For me, I look at it like, did you see the clip from what the scouts were saying about Javonte Williams from Denver? They were saying this dude runs like Nick Chubb or Ezekiel Elliott. Like, they were that high on Javonte Williams in that draft room. They traded up ahead of Miami to go get him. Yeah. I don't think Melvin Gordon is that good at this point in his career. Like, he really wasn't. He averaged 3 yards a carry for God knows how many years. And I think personally, Javonte will end up winning that job a lot sooner than people think. And Shermer will use him. And, it'll be one of those things where Javonte Williams will get, 10 touches and get 60 yards, while Melvin Gordon will get 19 and get, 52. And people will be like, why don't we get the ball to Javonte Williams more? Shermer eventually we'll see it. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate it.
So who ends the year? Wait, what was it?
I wanted Javonte as my RB3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just couldn't take. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Chase Edmonds. I think he's a better back than James Conner. I think James Conner's terrible. Not terrible as a person. I think he's a great person. I think he's overcome a lot as a cancer survivor. Shout out all cancer survivors. But I will say, I don't think that his metrics will kind of prove that he doesn't do much with the touches he had. And you can see it last year. I don't know how much is left in his tank. So I just think whenever Chase Edmonds gets the ball, he's dynamic. I think he's got more of a PPR role than James Conner. I'm not trying to throw the ball to James Conner. So that's my thought. And I mean, I don't even think going to throw the ball to running backs. That's just my hope. Honestly, I think that, the human joystick back there will do more than, he makes things, the variable in that offense kind of be boom or bust for anybody but DeAndre Hopkins, honestly. DeAndre Hopkins is the one constant. Him, if you got Kyler and DeAndre, they're solid. You can team them up. You could, stack them if you want to. I know there'll be weeks they win people money in DFS for sure. I think the other players are going to be viable, but I don't like Chase Edmonds as my RB2, so I'm definitely going to try to get another RB when we get back to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's running backs usually fall off the board round 7. Round 7 and Superflex and redraft, it's round 4. Round 4 to 5, it's just go take your receivers. I know people get scared and worried, oh God, my tight end or my second running back, I'm terrified, but it's go get your third receiver if you have like, Ayuk on the board or
Right.
Lockett, like any of those guys. Like go get that third guy instead of trying to go with, I want to make sure I get Chase Edmonds. It's like that's not good. And that's why you were like, oh damn, like Ayuk and Claypool got taken right in front of you, and you're like, I was just gonna take those guys.
And I was gonna take Gaskin and Robinson. So like I didn't want and Higgins. Oh yeah, so all 5 of my picks were just like boom, 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 boom. I was like, you mother chunkers. Whatever. I'm not going to.
Raheem Mostert just came off the board there. How do you guys feel about him? You think he could have any relevance this year?
He'll be fantasy relevant week to week. Like,
yeah.
He's already hurt from what I read the other. Yeah, he's dealing with the knee issue that he was dealing with last year.
Oh, and speaking of that, Trey Sermon.
Speaking of it, Trey Sermon. So who would you draft first, Jordan? Trey Sermon or Raheem Mostert?
I'm on Trey Sermon. I mean, that backfield, you got to know what you're buying into. Like, you're not buying into oh, my God, I can start this guy every week. You're buying into, man, I hope the 8 weeks that he's good, I'm the one starting him because he's more DFS relevant than he is in redraft or even best ball relevant. Like, Trey Sermon's going to have huge weeks just because that offensive line plus the dynamic of, Trey Lance coming over is huge. Like, they have Kyle Shanahan, who is one of the best play callers in football. And I remember the playoff run to the Super Bowl, week 1 of the playoffs that they had, because they were the 1 seed, so they had the bye week. It was Tevin Coleman went for like 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then the next week it was Raheem Mostert. And then in the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure Jeff Wilson or someone got more like yards per touch than the other guys. It's like that's all Shanahan does. He's like, okay, who can I use the best this game? Because running backs, like the top end guys, like the Kamaras, McCaffreys, Barkleys, like they're top tier. But like Chris Carson and Kareem Hunt and Josh Jacobs and those guys, like they just need to be in the right role and they'll be super fantasy relevant.
I agree. So, I mean, but that's got to concern you for all the running backs then, right? Mostert, Sermon, Gallman. I mean, Gallman, say what you will about Gallman, but he proved enough to me last year playing for the Giants that he's at least usable, and you get him in a really good situation like the 49ers, and he just runs away with the job. Who knows what could happen, right? I mean, so that's a little scary, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. When you're drafting those running, you got to know what you're getting into, right? Like what you said, Jordan.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing with the 49ers, and also like Debo's going to get carries and Ayuk's going to get carries. It's going to be frustrating, but like
Kittle's going to get some carries probably.
Yeah, I mean, the running back by committee is a big trend, and like I try to avoid those backfields the best I can. But like when you are able to
a bottle,
yeah, when you're getting the receiving core that Scott's getting, like, yeah, no, Trey Sermon and Chase Edmonds, like he's going to figure it out. One of those guys has a high probability of being relevant.
Well, and here's the thought too, is that maybe Chase Edmonds is more to start, and then Trey Sermon is the finisher. I've seen a trend in rookie running back usage that we can't guarantee anybody gets a job at any certain point, and particularly in the 49ers backfield. But I do like what he brings to the table for that offense if he does get behind the wheel. And they drafted, him and Elijah Mitchell. They've got 2 rookies coming in, and after that, everybody else is toast. Jeff Wilson's toast. They're all toast next year. They don't care about any of them. And so I would love to see by the end of the year them, being RB3, RB2, depending on the week, if the other guys are kind of out of the picture. Now, Mostert could just, Raheem it up the whole year. I don't know. He hasn't done that.
Raheem it up. I like the adjective you created for him.
Yeah. Oh, I love Michael Carter. I should have tried to get him. I actually like Michael Carter a lot. I was trying to be sneaky and let him kind of fall to me, but you know what? It's okay. I've got another one. I've got one more friend I'm going to pick, and I like this guy the most. I just know that I can wait on him normally, and we'll see. Maybe he'll get snagged at the next. Maybe J-Man. I don't think J-Man would do what I think it comes down to Arsenal. Let's see what Arsenal does. He's got 3 great running backs already. I don't think he might have to go tight end. He needs a tight end. Speaking of tight ends, J-Wall's got 3 quarterbacks. He's got 3 quarterbacks.
Oh my!
That's interesting. That's a strategy.
So I'm okay with it because one of them is Deshaun Watson.
Right. Right.
So, we don't know what Deshaun Watson's going to be. He could be nothing and he could be everything. And if he is the everything side, hey, guess what he can always do? He can make a trade. And, I'm sure someone would love to have Deshaun Watson / Baker Mayfield on their team. Or if he wants to get really crazy, maybe he tries to trade Patrick Mahomes and gets a lot of value. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm about to get my – oh, good. I'm about to get my guy. All right,
so 2 wide receivers.
So I'm going to explain I know that another backfield that you guys don't like to target, and it's another mercurial one. I like my guy Mr. Harris from New England. He is I think he's going to be the number 1 running back there by the end of the season. It's going to be obvious that he's better than everybody else. And Sonny Michel's on the last legs of his deal. He's not re-signed. They got no confidence in him. They don't care about him. I think he's just going to – maybe he gets cut. I don't know how much money they save if they cut him. But Belichick will use him. But I think, Damian Harris to me is the guy, and I like him as one of these RBs will be what I need him to be in this team. And so I like to wait on tight end, and tight end hasn't been drafted in a long time. And there's so many tight ends I still love. So I'll hammer that RB because I did go wide receiver and then quarterback. I could have gotten Mike Davis or Kareem Hunt. And I like Fitzpatrick. I stacked him with Terry McLaurin because I like to do a little stacking, and so and I couldn't get Julio, so Julio wins. I couldn't stack Julio.
So I like the Damian Harris pick. Jordan messaged me actually before you made that pick about 4 picks before and said, "I bet you Damian Harris will be his next pick, Scott's next pick." So guess what?
Jordan studies my tweets, not studies my tweets. When they get tweeted out, he actually reads them and goes, "Oh, okay," because I'll put out my best ball, and he also drafts with me. So he drafts. He sees. I know who he likes as well. I'm still waiting for a few. You want me to text you somebody that? I think he's on the board now. Okay, I'm gonna make a mental note of who I think he's gonna go for real quick.
Okay, fair enough.
I already have my 2 people.
I know.
You could say it out loud. I don't think you will because I don't draft these guys pretty often.
I think you're gonna get Antonio Brown. That's what I think you're gonna do.
That was the first one. You got that right.
Yeah. Good job, Scott. 1 for 1. Okay, so let me take a look at your team now, real quick. Okay, so
I want to say I do like the Damian Harris pick, Scott. I think that's great value for a potential starter for a team.
I've got 2 people in my quo, and if you can go and guess whichever one you guess, I will pick because I'm comfortable picking either one.
Yeah,
both thinks you're so predictable. So you guys are too easy. You guys are too easy.
Who does Bo think?
Jordan's pick is from Florida.
No, I'm not picking Kadarius Toney.
He also says Sermon's wildly overrated.
I think it's Michael Pittman. That's what I think.
So
I like Michael Pittman.
No Michael Pittman. I've got 2 of them.
A good pick.
So I'm going Will Fuller.
A lot of upside there.
Because I get the Tua stack. I should have seen that.
Pittman.
Here goes Michael Pittman.
Pittman. If I went Wentz, I would have went Pittman.
I like Pittman there a lot. I'll be honest. I like Antonio Brown. I talked about him a lot previously. I mean, as long as he gets on the field and everything's all good to go, which right now it looks like that, he's going to be a value. He's probably going to be the most valuable receiver Tampa Bay has, in my opinion.
Let's go to 2018 and just let my wide receiver core live in that year. D-Hop, Michael Thomas, Antonio Brown. Let's have a good time.
I mean, your running backs will do great back then too,
Yeah, that was probably Eckler's breakout year. Hawkinson was still in college. Tua was winning a national championship, and Will Fuller was probably hurt. But don't worry about that stuff.
You definitely was hurt.
2018. Let's Tariq Cohen. Wow, I haven't seen him go high in any draft. I figured usually I get him really, really late.
Holy moly, holy shoot!
But no, the other player in my quote, because I don't think he'll make it back to me, is Trey Lance. Because with those two. The 2 quarterbacks that I have, I trust for floor in Trey Lance with his rushing ceiling. If he does get that job to end the season, it could be Lamar-esque his rookie year, Jalen Hurts type of thing, where once he actually gets in there, and he would be coming into a situation that would probably be better fit for him than Hurts or Lamar came into their rookie seasons.
I completely agree with the Lamar aspect of that. I mean, the Ravens changed their offense completely once Lamar took the reins, but they did not have anything really ready to go for him. The offense changed, but it wasn't until the next season that they actually implemented an offense that was suited for his skill set.
Yeah, Greg Roman. Once you guys got Greg Roman in that year, I did fairly well in every fantasy league because I knew Greg Roman from his San Francisco days, and I drafted Mark Ingram, I drafted Lamar Jackson, and Mark Andrews. I was just like, I'm
Greg Roman throughout his career. He's always been a coordinator for running quarterbacks, and he's always done well with them. You know, whether the team does extremely well is another question, but you know,
you guys have had like a 36 wins in the last.
I'm happy with the Ravens. I'm happy with how the Ravens have played. Don't get me wrong. I'm just maybe I questioned Greg Roman in the past. Maybe I continue to question him a little bit. But I like him. I think he's good for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I'm going to excuse myself real quick because I need to go get a good pop. It's like an icy pop. It's not alcohol in it. I'm just going to get it real quick. I'm just starving for one of those real quick.
Well, it's a shame that you don't have alcohol in it, but go for it, man.
I'm trying to not be I'm trying not to be a fat bastard, honestly.
Fair enough. Stay sexy, right?
No, with the Ravens, though, this year is going to be a very interesting one. I know the Gus Edwards news where he got the extension. Like, I don't know why people are shocked about it. You guys used a second round tender on him.
Yeah. This should be expected. Yeah. Gus Edwards was on our team. So.
Yeah. And also, the Juwan James pickup is something that I absolutely love for just the standpoint of, you know, being decent of a franchise where, hey, we're going to give you money to get yourself recovered, and then you're going to get real money when you're actually healthy. And if that works out, like the Ravens, what they just seem to be doing these moves constantly, and I feel like those moves weren't made because of the Julio Jones trade talks. Because immediately right after all this stuff is finalized, that seems like a connection where it's like, okay, can we give Juwan James $8 million or can we get Julio Jones?
No, I think that's a great point. You just the high quality organizations, they show it off all the time, and you know their records show. I mean, like look at the teams that are perennially making the playoffs, have above 500 records. The Ravens are one of them. There's a lot of other teams like it, but they make these little moves that most people are kind of just like, whatever. It doesn't mean anything, but it actually does mean something in the end.
Yeah. And another player that's going super late that I think will probably make it back, that's just an interesting one, is T.Y. Hilton. I know Michael Pittman has been fantastic, but do you guys see the numbers that T.Y. Hilton put up towards the end of that year?
Yeah. I did, and they're exciting. What was it? The last like 4 or 5 games, he started really putting up numbers, right?
Last 6 games, he put over 18 4 times.
Wow. Who does Bo pick, by the way? Real quick, who do you guys think Bo picks?
Well, he picked Tony Pollard, and if I had to guess, what does he need?
Got 4 running backs,
receiver.
But they're not. He's running back 2's a little weak.
I was going to say Gallup too. I was going to say Gallup. I was going to receiver.
Great pick.
I mean, if he gets to the chance, he's the person in that offense that I just think is so going to is going to be fizzled out. Like I don't think they're going to want to throw the ball 700 times this year. Like with what they were doing with Dak just wasn't winning football games. Their defense still isn't fixed, but I mean, their division doesn't exactly like put fear into scoring points. They had a gauntlet schedule to begin that year with offenses where it was the Falcons.
Yeah.
Did they play the first or the Browns, who I know their offense wasn't looked at as that great, but that running attack was just they couldn't stop the run. And who do the Cowboys play? Because I'm looking it up now. I mean, this year they do begin with the Bucks. That's not fun.
And I will say that, you know, that division, well, I'm not terrified by anyone in that division. It's definitely absolutely improved offensively, I would say. Looked at the Eagles. They had another year with Jalen Hurts in there. They got Devonta Smith. You look at the football team. If you look at the football team, new quarterback, some new weapons at wide receiver, Antonio Gibson healthy, and then you look at the Giants, they got Kenny Galladay. So maybe there's some more shootout potential there. I'm not nervous about those offenses, but it could happen.
I think it just comes down to the play calling. Like that's the big thing with me with Jason Garrett. Like none of those play callers like can do things that I'm like, damn, like that's crazy. Like that's cool. That's cool play call. Damn, I didn't get Sam Darnold. I wanted to pick Sam
But at
Darnold.
the same time, maybe they're just like, oh, we don't know what to do. Throw it, Dak.
that is true. Wow. This is
I have a question. I like asking people this question because I see a wide variety of kind of landing spots for these guys. But the Steelers wide receivers, where are you drafting them in redraft? Scott, what do you think?
Oh, I have to turn my mic on for that one.
No, you don't have to, but like,
recommended. Right now, I would say that I am not chasing. In best ball, I am because I think best ball is cool to chase. But I'm not chasing Deontay Johnson in the 5th round because I think that's his ceiling. Maybe his ceiling's a little bit higher, but I just don't trust Ben Roethlisberger to stay healthy all year necessarily, and I don't like what's behind him and Haskins and any of the other players they have. So I don't hate them. I just think last year they were throwing the ball a lot more than they're gonna do this year, honestly.
So you're kind of just wait. You're not reaching for any of these. You're waiting and kind of seeing how the board falls. If one falls to you, you're willing to take one, but that's pretty much it.
I want Chase Claypool at his ADP right now. I will draft him. Yes.
So is he your favorite wide receiver? You would say?
Yeah, out of all 3 of them, yeah, I say I'm getting more Chase Claypool than in the other ones.
Makes sense.
I don't have any Juju. I'm out on Juju. Sorry.
And you're up on the clock, Scott.
Yeah, no.
What do you think?
What I want to do? I don't want to have another tight end. I mean, another quarterback. I have 2 quarterbacks.
You have 2, but the quarterback room is just ugly. So I mean, that's what I did.
It looks like I got somebody for you. They signed him for a lot of money. Kenyon Drake. I don't think that he's great. I don't think he's great, but I think Kenyon Drake. Josh Jacobs is not the passing back. I guess Kenyon Drake's going to be the passing back. I don't know. They paid him $7 million. Gruden's going to have to do something with him. So in the 12th round, I don't mind snagging him as an option. And if Josh Jacobs gets hurt, he's got a feature role. Maybe he's a RB2. I don't know.
Well, with the Steelers wide receivers, like I'm not a big fan of like any of them for where they're going, just because of obviously Big Ben's health, but. Like Juju going as I think in this draft he went like as wide receiver 30, like that's way too far for him.
Yeah,
like,
Juju went 5, Claypool 7.6, and Johnson 6.8.
Like at that price, like I like Juju. My team build didn't need. I was debating on going to Juju, but I was like, you know what, I would rather have Tua just because I'm a Tua guy. But for going as like a wide receiver 30, like he's pretty much been a top 24 wide receiver, even in the 2019 season where like obviously he was hurt. He wasn't what people were drafting him as, but his averages weren't absolutely awful. Like his game log was pretty like 19, 16, 13, 16.
Yeah.
Like, he's solid enough, and they're going to continue to use him in that role. And like Deontay Johnson, I think, is their wide receiver 1 off of targets. But Claypool has the TD upside and Juju has the floor. It's like it's a weird group.
It's so tough.
I'm not
so tough. Juju, he's the slot guy. You kind of expect him to. He's going to have his role, like you said. He's going to get fantasy points. Deontay Johnson, he's going to get probably the most targets on the team. But Claypool, he's going to probably have the most valuable targets, and he's going to be used in creative ways. So I'm with you. I like where Juju went. That's the range. I'm definitely going to snag these guys if they can fall down to that area. You said 30th overall wide receiver. Yeah. Juju there.
Yeah. 4. I'm gonna count it right now.
And there goes James Conner finally. Wow, like the end of the last round. I do prefer Chase Edmonds, but James Conner, he has a chance. I know, Scott, you said you don't love him, but you got to admit there's a chance that he has the most carries for that team this year, right? Little chance, maybe.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure. No. Oh, If you go, hey, guess what? James Conner led the Arizona Cardinals in rushing attempts this year. People don't go, oh, they had a great season. Oh, like, yeah, they were doing really good. Good times. You know? Don't say
No,
that.
probably not.
Why?
No.
Why, guys? Why?
They're a tough team. Like the Cardinals running backs get so much work. Like regardless in the red zone, they get so many carries and stuff. I do like the dart throw of Connor in the 12th, but like yeah, no, if he's getting 200, if he's getting over 200 carries, that's probably a problem. I like Connor for DFS. He's another guy, another backfield that like screw it. Like the week Chase Edmonds missed because he got something sprained or whatever. Throwing Connor in at 5,400, love it. But if Connor ever touches like a 7K price range, nope, I'm out. I don't care. I don't trust that talent.
No.
Looks like Z2 was sniping Swamp. But I'm with you. I understand what you guys are saying. But at the end of the 12th round,
yeah,
take Connor. Take Connor. Just do it. It doesn't bother me in this light. I'm doing that all day myself. So that was a fun draft, guys.
That was a good
I gotta say. Thank you so much for hopping on with me.
I love it.
I needed it.
Thanks. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, anytime. I mean, now that we fired JL and Simon, we can do this whenever you guys are available, you know?
Yeah. Now that you're bringing sexy back, you know.
We are.
Yeah.
Bringing sexy back.
See, Scott, you need to stop saying that because, you know, Josh, this is what he listens to. He listens to I'm too sexy for my shirt before he, you know, gets ready for dates and everything.
You know what?
He
should. Right. Fred, here's the thing. I can't believe Right Said Fred. There is no, like, how does Me Too not come after Right Said Fred yet? You know what I mean? Like, that guy, you know, he's just a walking, you know, he's too sexy for everything. Like, is he taking off all your clothes, bro? Like, that's a crime. You know, no offense, you know, but like, you know, I'm offended. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the Me Too movement kind of forgot about him.
I mean,
it was a one-hit wonder, right?
Too sexy for the song. Oh, really? Real.
JL said good work, and this is what we're going to. This is perfect.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Scott.
Poop for sure. Way better than poop.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Scott, thank you for hopping on. Can you please tell the people where they can find you?
Oh man, you can find me working outside my house on my deck.
That's all he does anymore. He just works outside his house. He's training dogs.
Yeah, training dogs, picking up shit. I mean, I'm sorry. Picking up stuff. And then just kind of watching Twitter pass me by. It's just ridiculous. You know, I'm just so sad. I'm just like, what's happening? I jump I'm like, I need the Cliff Notes, Jordan. They're like, we don't like this guy now. I'm like, okay, goodbye. Yeah. So
I will say, if you want to check him out and his dog and everything going on, definitely follow him at Nimble with Numbers. It's a W.
Nimble W Numbers on Twitter, and then you can nimblewnumbers.com in the fall. DFS content written by myself and then my guy Bowman Big Time, who crushes it. And then I'm over on Shock Blocked 11 p.m. on Fridays. For now, it's going to be moved to Saturdays when the DFS season starts in the fall. We'll have myself there. Jordan Vanek will be Bowman Big Time will be there. We'll have guests as well. We've been crushing it. Last week we had Lofty on from Osmo. By the way, Jordan, he invited us to go on like Live Before Lock or some of those other shows. You're going to come on. We're going to bring the whole crew, do a little Osmo switcheroo. You know, one of these weeks in the NFL season. I can't wait for that. And then I'm also Fantasy Millionaires 10 p.m. on Monday. Mike Collins, my guy, the Ralph Mott Show on Twitter. And then I'm on the show Thursday at 8 p.m. and it is the FF Hot Stove on Twitter. And we had Field Yates on a couple weeks ago, which is pretty awesome. So, yeah, that is
awesome. Big Field fan.
Yeah, loving it. So check me out on all those platforms, Nimble W Numbers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I do work with this cool guy down here. I try to hop on. You'll see me in the comment section for the FIF. But mainly just Jordan Vanek 1. The one thing I'll kind of put out there is good friend of the show and good friend of all of us here is Robbie, Rumboy's Robbie. I don't know if you guys saw what, happened, that tragedy, and just the GoFundMe that he has going on. I've retweeted it a few times. If anybody has the ability to donate. It's for someone who supports all of us. He's a great friend and also someone who helps a lot of people in this community, and that's the person I want to shout out today.
Actually, thank you for that, Jordan. Yeah, really do.
Very good.
All right, guys. So unless there's any more questions or anything else you guys want to bring up, anything?
Jay said something in the comments that I was thinking for you.
Oh, well, yeah. I got that. Trading does make fantasy fun, just so everyone knows. But that's going to be it for us today. Just so everyone knows, we will be here live streaming every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern on YouTube every weekday, just so you guys know. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at FrontYardFYF. Find me on Twitter at FYFJosh. And please just go subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch under the name Front Yard Fantasy. It really means a lot. Again, trading makes fantasy fun. I love you guys. We're going to get out of here.
Have a good one, guys.
Everyone.